Let's look at GDX. So if I went to May and bought the 50s right here, I mean, you could certainly do that, right? You could buy the $50 puts for May 16th. They're like $1.60. And you can see there's a good amount of open. Whoa, look at the 43s. Now, that's an interesting number. Where the hell did they get 40? Where did they get 43? Look at all that there. Yowza. That's a lot. Let me look at the chart again. They're buying the 50. Wow. Now that's something. So take a look, folks. See the 50 period simple? Boom. Where is that? Whoops, right here. Just above 43, right? That would be a move, wouldn't it? At least a pullback to the 50 like it did here. So does it have a history of going above and then coming back to the 50? Let's see. Well, what do you fucking know about that? Look at this. Doink, doink. There's the 50. There's the 50. And so they're betting on another pullback to the 50. What's the 50 at? 43. Go to the options chain. Look at this confluence. 43, 44, and 43. I like 45. I actually like 50 better. And actually 48 ain't bad. If I can get 48 for under $1. See, what you can do, ladies and gentlemen, is if you buy the $48 put for, let's say, $1 right now, and then price drops and this gets in the money and this ends up being, 47, 46, right? Then what you can do is you can sell like the 40s at that point. So at that point, let's say it gets to 46. That's 6 points lower. So what would the equivalent be? 48s? Look at that. So if this drops, let's say you buy the 48 put for $1. The price goes down to, let's say, close to 48, 47. Let's say it goes down to 46. You could then sell the 40s for probably $1. And then you would be at probably more. But let's just say you could sell it for $1. Now you've got an 8-wide vertical for May 16th at zero cost. So that's one way to do it. Obviously, you need to move to the downside to be able to sell the premium. But you don't have to go all the way down to 40 either. I mean, you could go 6 down, which would be the 42s. And the equivalent would be what? From where we are now, probably be like $1.50. You probably could get $1.50 at that point if you did, say, the 42s. And then you'd have the 48, 42. You'd be up $50 for each one of them and still have $600 potential for May. So this is a really cool way to think about doing it. There's another way to do it, and that is to do a calendar. So you could sell, let's see. What's this week? Yeah, tomorrow. So look at this trade. It's not great. I thought this would be a better number. Yeah, there's no premium. That's the problem. Oh, you mean the volume and the options change, Sledgehammer? It doesn't know the difference. Yeah, the only way to do this is with 52s, but I don't want to do that. There's no premium here. I mean, you could do 51, so that would be a little risky. You could sell you could sell the 51 put, but you'd want to have price stay above 51. So the expected move is a buck 55. You're close, right? So what if gold didn't drop tomorrow, which is the last day of the trading week? Just watch this. No, 48 is fine. I don't think there's a risk at 48. There's a bigger risk at 52, at 51, I mean. So GDX would have to drop from right now. It would have to drop $1.15 to tomorrow's close for you to be worried. But if it stayed within a dollar move, you could sell the 51 for about 30 bucks. And then you could buy, if you wanted to, you could buy next week's 51. And that brings your cost down to 60 cents. So if you could get 60 cents for this trade, the way it works is as long as GDX stays above 51, this expires worthless. You got 30 cents for it, and the 30 cents came off the 93 cents or whatever that the 51 put was going to cost you. So now you got a cost of 60 cents. And if it expires, then next week you're sitting on a 51 put with only a 60-cent cost. Not bad. And only $1 out of the money. It's like, that's one way to play it. Everybody understand that? You could go to the 50 if you wanted to, you could go to the 50. You're just not going to get a great credit. So this isn't bad too. This is 50 cents. Actually, I like that better. The chance of GDX being below 50 cents tomorrow at the end of the day is very slim. Look at the expected move. It's the expected move for tomorrow is a buck 50. So this is $2.15. So you sell the 50 for this week that most likely expires worthless, and then you end up with a $50 put for next week. In case the dollar surges, this kicks in. Yeah, then what you could do, well, what Sleepless, you have a good point, is let's say you stay above 50 for this Friday, it expires. Now you've got next week's 50, and price continues to drop. It didn't go below 50, but it continues to drop, and now it's like 48. Well, what could you do? Well, at that point, you could sell like the 46 or the 47 put and bring in probably another 60, 70, 80 cents. in credit against that cost, you'd be up 20 bucks and you'd have a 3 wide vertical going into the Friday. You get it? So you could do that in two parts. So there's a number of ways to do it. This is actually fairly compelling. How's 49? 30 cents. Now, the only problem with this is, are you going to be able to get to 48 bucks by next Friday? That would be quite a drop. You'd have to come down to, from here down to here. You'd have to have a real big gap. And that's not likely. That's why they're willing to give it to you for 30 cents, because the likelihood of you getting to 49 is not great. So just giving you some food for thought. SPY still above 531. Let's check out IWM, the precursor of them all. So we got a 15-minute squeeze. The 30-minute squeeze fired long already. I mean, the 195 fired long. Let me see if it's got an hourly squeeze on it. Yep. So there's an hourly squeeze on IWM. The 195 fired long already. IWM is not really breaking down, is it? So this is just an interesting, chart. So let's just draw. So you're kind of here. You take out this, and that means something significant. If you look at what that is, 189.05. 189.05. So I'm going to move this one. Everybody see the top here? See the holy shit move right here? Right there. So that's the top of the holy shit candle. That's where the selling happened. You get above here, trust me, the rally is on. So 189 IWM. 5. Stay above 532 for sure, but I'd say 532. I guess we could keep it at 532. 532 SPY. Below 30 on VIX. And then you got Apple and Nvidia. They need buying. So this is the formula. And this is the way we've been laying it out for quite a while.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.